If you want to be a full-time music producer, you want to build your own business, your own company, there's a few characteristic traits that almost every successful business owner builds. We don't really talk about this in the music space as much because we're always talking about production, mixing, mastering, the skill sets that are directly correlated to how your music sounds. While you do need those skill sets, your music does need to sound good, there's also more overarching character traits, business skill sets that you need for your business to run smoothly and to continue to sustain and grow. Because if you don't have these character traits, it's only a matter of time until your business falls apart. You might be up and running now, you might be doing well now, but if you don't have these traits, it's just going to fall apart. And the first one is consistency. I almost hate using this word because people throw this word around and make it seem like it's almost unimportant, right? They're like, oh, but I wish I was just more consistent. Oh, you just need to be more consistent, but there's no action steps to it. So consistency is something really important that you need to develop if you want to have a operational business and something that sustains. Because if you only show up on days that you feel motivated, you only show up on days that you feel inspired, what happens on those days where you don't? Because that's the majority of your days. Most of us wake up in the morning, we don't always be like, like I'm super inspired to like go and tackle the day, right? So you have to build this to ingrain into yourself as a habit that you're going to show up day after day doing the things that you know will move your business even if you don't feel like doing it. And the best way to do that is a trick that's called habit stacking. I learned this from James Clear in Atomic Habits. This is the concept. If there's a habit that you do day in, day out, regardless, like you can't help but do these things or your day will not function properly. Let's say it's drinking coffee. Some of us can't even function if we don't have a cup of coffee yet. What you want to do is you want to take that habit and you want to take the habit that you want to start ingraining in yourself and stack it on top of each other. You're going to tell yourself every time that I drink a cup of coffee, I'm going to also sit down and create a beat. I'm also going to sit down and DM 20 artists that I want to work with. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to create an Instagram post. Whatever it is, whatever that habit is that you want to develop that helps you build your business and grow, but you're having a hard time staying consistent with, you want to tie that to a habit that you do every day, and you want to make sure that those happen in conjunction no matter what. So the solution to this is try habit stacking. It could be drinking coffee, it could be taking a shower, it could be taking a bath, it could be brushing your teeth. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's something that you do all the time and something that you want to do and pile them on top of each other. So the idea here is like we're not working based off of motivation and inspiration because while those are great, they only show up periodically and they're not consistent enough for you to make something you want to do consistent. The second characteristic that a lot of successful people have is that they have the ability to delay gratification. What does this mean? A lot of times we get a burst of serotonin, a burst of dopamine whenever we do something and we get something that we want in return. Things like scrolling through Instagram. Cool, I get to see something new, something exciting right away, so I get that burst of dopamine, right? Or if I work for a day, I get paid. I work for a day, I get paid. I do this, I get paid. Something returns almost automatically as soon as you do it. And this is what instant gratification is. And the more that you can delay the task that you get done to the time that you actually receive that gratification, and the longer that distance is, and you start to build that, you'll start developing habits and doing things realizing that you're not going to get an instant gratification. But if you get yourself in the headspace where you're okay with that delayed gratification, you can do the hard work. You'll start investing in learning more. You'll start doing the things that are going to help you long term without expecting to get something on the front end. If you constantly always expect to get something the minute that you do it and you don't get that, you're not going to be able to build those long-term visions because those long-term visions require you to stack skill on skill on skill on skill and slowly get better and grow and expand wide. And if you can't handle that, you won't invest in learning new skill sets because you don't get an instant return. But the thing is, if you continue to invest in yourself, take your money, pour it into your learning, take these skill sets and keep stacking them, eventually they're just going to explode and the return is going to be much greater than something you can get instantly. So again, I like to give you guys action steps. So the best way to solve delaying gratification is tracking your daily actions. Here's the thing. Sometimes we do things day in, day out, and we are unable to see the actual progress of what we get because we're living in the moment. And when that moment passes and you didn't get something right off the bat, you'll just start to feel like, am I doing this for any sort of reason? And so this is a hard one, but you actually need to do this. If you don't do this, then how are you going to get the results? So if you want to feel like you're progressing, you need to track your daily actions. Let's say you made a beat on Monday and then you sent 20 messages on Instagram on Tuesday and all this. Like, by Friday, you're going to forget that you did all that and you're going to be like, what did I get done this week? Whereas if you actually tracked it on paper, wrote it down every single day, you can look back on a piece of paper and you can see the log of all the actions that you took, and you'll be like, I did get something done today. And you'll feel good about it, and that way you know that that gratification, that result that you're looking for is only a matter of time because you're tracking your daily actions. So this is the best way to start learning how to delay those gratifications a little bit. So the third thing is clarity. Clarity on where you're going, what your goals are, what you want to achieve. The more clear that you can see this, the more likely you're going to hit it because you know exactly what to do and you can reverse engineer the actions. For example, a lot of producers that I speak to, their goals is to just hit the next level, reach a new level, get better with my music production. That's not really a goal, right? That's kind of a milestone that you hit along the way. Like if you wanted to get better with music production, you could literally go on the internet, learn one thing, and you're automatically better. So there's no way to measure that. There's no way to be like, oh, I hit my goal because I'm better now. Whereas if you had monetary goals, where if you had career goals, like picturing what your day-to-day ideal workday looks like in the future, those are goals that you can start to reverse engineer and you can get to. For example, let's say it's 5K a month. If I hit 5K a month, I can quit my job, I can focus on doing music production full-time. Now you can reverse engineer this, figure out a business model, what works best for you. If you were to lease beats on BeatStars, right? $30 a piece. Now you can reverse engineer and see what it takes to get there. It's hundreds of beats. Now, what does it take to get to hundreds of beats? Well, I need to make this many beats. Well, I need to do this. Whatever it is, if you have clear goals, you can reverse engineer it and you can start to work your way up there. That way you have a clear path on where to go. Whereas if you don't have monetary goals, there's no numbers to hit. If you don't have a clear vision on what you want to do on a day-to-day, how do we know if we hit that goal? So I really recommend getting really clear on what your vision is for your music. If it is something you want to do full time, think about what that number is that you have to make in order to replace your job, get health insurance, pay taxes, do all those things, right? All these things are going to happen. You're gonna have to pay taxes. You're gonna have to get health insurance. So these are things that we need to account for so that we know our exact goal and we know how to reverse engineer it and take it step by step in order to get there. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know that before we're music producers, we're obviously humans and we need to ingrain these types of characteristics, these types of habits, because these are habits that a lot of successful people have. If you study people outside of the music industry, entrepreneurship, business owners, these are the types of things that they talk about. And I know we don't talk about it enough in our industry and our niche, so I want to share this with you guys. So I hope that was helpful. If you want to learn more about music production and you found this helpful and you want to look for ways to build a business around your music production, how to land more clients, how to sell your production, I have a free training. I'm going to leave it down below in the link so that you guys can register for that. It's just ask for your email, your phone number, and you'll get access to the training right away. It's about an hour and a half, and it goes in depth with the business model that I like to teach, which is high ticket. So if you guys want to register for that, go ahead and click down in the description. Otherwise, if you liked this, please subscribe, hit me with a follow, hit me with a like, hit me with all those, and share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video.